Hi guys, Squirrel here, and welcome to my introduction to Euro Truck Simulator 2. If you've not heard of this game, then I suggest you go and check it out after you've watched this video. It is very enjoyable and quite addictive. It doesn't appear to be. You think, what the hell, this is about trucks, how can this possibly be enjoyable? But it is. And what's better, if you go to the website, and there's a link in the description, you can download it and you can try it out completely for free. It's now on Steam. It was the release last week onto Steam. It's the #1 selling game on Steam now. It's actually, I think, currently running at a discount, but you'll have to be quick because I think the offer ends really soon. Okay, so what do? Well, essentially, you get to buy trucks, you customize them however you want. You unlock various things as you level up your character. You can open multiple garages all across Europe. You can hire people to work for you, and you build yourself up a trucking empire. The graphics in this game are superb. It's a completely open game. There are so many mods that you can get for it. On this particular demo here, I'm running realistic physics mods, so I get lots of truck bounce and tipping. And here you see it in the winter pack. This is a mod that you can get for it. You just drop it in, it's all free, and you can have an epic time. The whole point of the game is that you get better and better at truck driving. You deliver everything from explosive to chemicals to milk, tomatoes, you name it, you get to deliver it. All the truck manufacturers are in there: DAF, Iveco, Scania, Renault, you name it, they're all in there. And the dealers are spread out over Europe. You get to pick up jobs across Europe, make deliveries, level up. You can borrow money from the bank, you can open multiple garages, and just generally have an epically fun time. It's not an online game, it's purely an offline game, but the customization and the fun you can have in this game, trust me, if you're any kind of a petrol head, then you must check this game out. It is tremendous fun. I shall now teach you about this game and how to play it, give you a brief overview, and if you do like what you see and you want to see more from me, I can make tutorial videos and even adventure videos. I am streaming on Twitch, so go over there and watch me play it. Okay, so you've seen some of what Euro Truck offers. You've seen me drive around, you've seen the weather, you've seen the beautiful scenery. Now to tell you about the game itself. This is my truck, by the way, and this is my character up here, level 10 currently. And you can have multiple profiles. Each profile is a different character with different garages, you know, completely different game setup if you like. So if you've got friends or family at home who want to share and play this game with you, you can each have a different profile and level up totally independently. Now then, the way this game works is this. You start off with next to no money, and you've got to build a trucking empire if you like. And what you do is you start by taking some simple jobs from the job market, which is down here. And you would take a quick job. You don't even need your own truck to take a quick job. You can just pick from these, turn up for work, they'll give you the truck, you drive it wherever it wants to go. You take it from here to here and you get paid this amount of money. Now, they are not as lucrative as when you go onto the freight market. Now, the freight market, you're expected to turn up with your own truck. And you can increase the amount of money you're going to get paid by leveling up certain skills of you or your workers. Now you see some of these symbols down here. This is a heavy or oversized cargo. In order for this to even show, I need to have got some points, some skills in heavy and oversized cargo. And the more points I put into that, the more of a bonus I will take when I deliver it. Likewise, this is an ADR class. This is dynamite. This is explosives, and I have to have put a point in explosives in order to be licensed to take this stuff. But anyway, you get the idea. Let's just have a quick look at my character. Have a look at his skills, and here you can see eco driving I'm not bothered with, but that saves you money on fuel. Just in time delivery is for when you want to get something there quickly. You need to put a point in each of these here for it to unlock that category in the freight market. So this is just in time delivery. This is going to allow me to take things that need to get there quickly, and the more points I put in it, the more of a reward I will get. Similarly, fragile cargo, heavy cargo, and driving long distance. This is an important one to skill up early on because these longer drives will actually make you a lot of money. These are different categories of ADR. They are things like explosives, gases, flammable liquids, solids, you name it, corrosives, all the rest of it. This is what you spend your points in. Every skill level you will get a point, and you can put it in here wherever you like. Now then, truck dealers are where you would buy a truck. There are different categories of trucks: DAF, Iveco, MAN, Mercedes-Benz, Renault, Scania and Volvo. And they are somewhere on this map and you have to discover where they are. For instance, these are the ones I've discovered. There's a Scania dealer there and a Mercedes-Benz and a MAN dealer down there. There's also a MAN dealer up in Birmingham in the UK. But you get the idea, you've got to go around and find out where they are. But you can just visit a selected dealer from the screen once you've discovered it. You don't need to travel there to visit it. Let's just quickly go and have a look at the Scania dealer, for example. Do you want to go and visit the Scania dealer? Yes. And we are instantly taken to the Scania dealer and you will see some very nice trucks, most of which I am not the required level to purchase, nor do I have the money. This is the most basic truck. This is what my truck is. As you can see, 360 brake horsepower, costs 109,000 euros. You can either save up for this initially by taking lots of jobs, or after a couple of levels the bank is going to offer you to get a loan. You get about 100,000 loan and you can buy one of your own. That's what I did. When you come to purchase trucks later on, you can trade them in or just buy a new one outright. I've managed to save up and buy another 2 trucks. I bought 2 MAN trucks for my other drivers. When you hire drivers, and I'll talk about that later, you will be able to give them a truck, give them a space in your garage and then send them away and they'll go make money for you. Now this truck here, this is something that I could purchase as well, but if we move around the garage, you'll see it starts to get into the realms of expensive and something that I cannot get. This is a Scania. Again, this is a 126k Scania. I could afford that one, but this is a 730 brake horsepower engine and I can only get that at level 25 for a snip of 212,000 euros. What a very nice truck that is. One day I will be able to get that, but I'm only level 10 at the moment. There's again a level 20. You can see it's got twin rear axles, built to take some big stuff, 620 brake with a 12-speed gearbox. Keep your eye on these fuel tanks. They can a big fuel tank can obviously mean fewer stops on the longer distance journeys. It's up to you which truck you go for once you unlock them, and also the different dealers, the configurations are different. And also there's an element of what you like, the make you like. Maybe you're French or you're German, you have a particular preference to Renault or MAN, or maybe just like the style of certain trucks. It's all down to personal preference at the end of the day. But when you do buy one, click custom, and for example you can choose from different paint jobs, and later on if you take it over to the repair center, you get I don't know why you don't get it, but in the repair center you don't just get a palette of colors to choose from, you get an infinite array. You can pick any color you like from a slider. You can tweak the interior of it, you can pick the engine. As you can see, I could, because I've unlocked it now, I could just straight up put a 420 brake horsepower engine in it. It gets added to the price. And again, you can put these trims along the top. The trims are going to let you put different accessories on them depending on which one you pick. It's completely customizable. Spin around your truck, change the wheels. Don't like those wheels, pick something else. The higher level you get, the more you unlock, the more customizable this all becomes. Go to town. This is where it's at, boys. No, I don't want to buy one of those things. Cute. Let's get out of there before I spend too much money. Okay, the bank is going to show you which money. You can see I took a 100,000 loan here, and then I took a 400,000 later. This allowed me to expand and get a couple of trucks and hire a couple of people. But you can see the interest rates vary and the installments have to be paid. But I could repay this now if I wanted to, but I'm just going to let it run. I'm quite happy. If I want to know how much money I'm making, I need to go to my garage manager, and you can see I own one garage. I have 3 garage slots. My profit in the last 7 days was 149, which is about 21,000, of which I'm spending about 8 or 9 on bank loans. I'm not doing too badly, but that's going to improve as my workers get better and better, skilled up, and start to earn me more money. Speaking of which, let's have a look at my drivers. This is me. As you can see, I'm getting 17,000 a day profit, and whereas my workers are only getting sort of 1,700 and 2,000. The computer tends to pick the jobs for them, so I've given them a truck, I've given them a space in the garage. As you can see, a couple of MAN trucks there. But I get to choose how they skill up. So when they skill up, I tell it, the computer, it will start off balanced, but I would suggest you put it on long distance initially, get some points into here, and then start going for the, you know, the fragile, the just-in-times, and maybe some of the ADR stuff. You can, of course, get rid of them anytime and go to the recruitment agency and hire a different person. This is Jeff the Tramp, as we call him. He's infamous in my streams. And this is Tina the Tart. She too is quite infamous in my streams. If you've been watching me on Twitch, then you'll have seen these guys as I recruited them and as I've been leveling up. Anyway, over to the recruitment agency. And in the recruitment agency, you have to discover the recruitment dealers. The more driving around, the more cities you visit, make sure you drive past those question marks when you go to a city. The more that you choose, the more that you discover, when you come to hire a driver, the bigger choice you will get. It's telling me at the moment I don't have any slots for a new driver. That's fair enough. But you can see I've got 3 pages of people, all with different skills, all with different price points. And, you know, if I wanted somebody who's quite skilled at just-in-time deliveries, I could just hire John, send him over to the garage. I have to have a free slot available, send a truck there, and that's it. He'll just start work. And the computer keeps you updated as they take work, tells you what kind of money they're earning for you. So that's how you hire workers. You don't need to worry about the job market. The computer will find them jobs for you. But like I say, it's probably best if you start somewhere central in the map, because then they'll have a wider choice of places to go. When you're driving around, you're going to want to listen to some music. You click on the radio and you can choose either from your music library, or you can stream internet radio straight over the internet, which is quite nice. Just choose one of these channels, whatever you fancy. A bit of 80s music, I find tends to be a nice drive. Okay, over here, well, this is my truck. Obviously we've looked at truck dealers. Upgrades, it lets you know when new upgrades are available. As you can see, I can now get a sunrise paint job for 22,000 euros. I don't think I'll be bothering with that. But yeah, as unlocks become available, you'll see them appear here. You need to visit the repair centre to get those upgrades put in place, but it just notifies you when they're available, which happens when you level up. Let's not worry about the cabin adjustments for now. Diagnostics is an important one. This is where you're going to see a damage report. If you bump into things, be it scenery or other vehicles, other vehicles will normally give you a fine because you've damaged their vehicle, but most certainly you'll receive damage to your truck, which is ultimately going to cost you money, as you can see here. Now, if you're a careful driver, you will still suffer wear and tear to your truck. This just simulates general wear and tear when you're on the road, racking up the miles. So as you can see, I've been quite careful. You'll generally get about 1% per, long trip of a few hundred miles. It'll just tick over. Nothing you can do about it. You just need to take it to the repair centre. At the moment I've got almost 1,000 euros in repair bills. Okay, so that's an overview of the game and the mechanics of it. I'm going to switch profile now and show you the simple way of driving a truck, or the mechanics of driving a truck, how to take a job, how to get from A to B, and how to reverse. Now, reversing is something you can optionally choose to do, but it's something I recommend that you do, because that's what it's all about, driving a truck. So we pick up the job market, we choose our hometown as our source point, and that will show us all of the jobs, the current jobs, running out of Dortmund. As you can see, there's quite a bit of a choice here. Mostly the short trips. We can't go very far at the moment, but let's just take one of the short ones, like this, for example, which is going to take some ore. Driving, what's that? An Iveco active, an Iveco Stralis. We could take a Mercedes-Benz. Oh, a Volvo. That sounds nice. Yeah, let's take this big Volvo. That sounds like fun. That's going to net us 3,500 euros. Again, there's no special freight to be taken because we don't have any skills in anything. So we'll click on Take Job. That's going to put us into our truck. And here we are in our truck. This is a Volvo. It's not ours. This is somebody else's. It's not a bad interior. So as you look around, I'm using the mouse to look around, or you can use any number of keys that you've mapped. The numeric keys by default will make you look left and right and forward. If you look far left, then you get this out of the window view. Now, because I started in Europe, I'm in a left-hand drive. If I'd have started in the UK, I would be in a right-hand drive by default. Remember, this isn't my truck. This is just one that I chose. When you come to buy a truck, you can choose whether you want left or right. I would recommend you go left-hand drive because the vast majority of your driving is going to be in Europe, which is where they drive on the right. Now then, let's press F5 a few times, and you can see that we've got to take this thing to Dortmund. So that's generally speaking a best view. We're already hooked up, we don't have to worry about that. What we need to do, we need to press E. That's going to start the engine. It's not a bad little truck actually. Quite like this one. Okay, so we're going to press the accelerate forward. It's going to pick up some speed. Remember, this thing is wide and long. It's not like driving a car. It'll take some getting used to. Also remember, when you come to a junction you need to give way. So we need to look and we need to indicate. Don't need to indicate, but if you want to play the game properly, I recommend you do. I'm going to pull out on that guy. Now bear in mind, you need to steer wide all the time, because that truck, you can see it in the left hand mirror, it is long, and if you cut the corner in this thing, that was nice timing, if you cut the corner in this thing, the truck is going to cut the corner and you'll damage it, which is going to damage your goods, which will reduce the amount you get paid. I'm going to go down to some my favourites, some 80s hot mix. Again, if you don't like any of the stuff here, just pick music player, and anything you put into Euro Truck Simulator 2 music folder, you'll see here. You put that on and it will start to stream music from the internet. It's very important to get the steering sensitivity right when you're playing this game. What I would suggest you do is when you're starting out, as soon as you get your first job, hit the save button and save your progress at that point, because when you take this truck out you will damage it, promise me, you'll wreck it. Probably wreck other cars, it'll cost you a fortune and your whole thing will crash and burn. It is going to take time for you to learn how to drive a truck. It is going to take time for you to play with the settings and make sure you've got what you want. He says, driving into somebody else, not really paying attention. These things are big, these things are heavy. As you can see, it takes a while to stop, it takes a while to get going, and when you turn a corner you've got to take it very wide. The AI in this game is not the best. These cars do some strange things. They stop for no reason sometimes, and particularly when traffic's merging. Now take this lane wide because my trailer's on the back. You can see it straightening up now. When two lanes of traffic are merging, the AI just gives up and one of the lanes will just stop until the other one's completely clear. These things you're just going to have to learn as you play the game. But as I say, best to save the game when you've done all this setup and then tweak your configuration to suit, get used to driving a truck, reload it back in and have a good laugh. This game is very addictive. You wouldn't think it is. Even if you've never tried truck driving before, which you probably haven't, you may not think you'll enjoy it, but most of the time I can promise you, you will. I don't know why this is so much fun, but it certainly is. Now look at this, I'm going to make this turn here. I'm going to have to go past the junction, take it wide, look at my trailer on the inside there. As you can see, I made a good turn there. I didn't cut the corner. If I'd have cut the corner off, like took it as if I was driving a car, my trailer would have gone straight over the grass. Now grass isn't such a problem, but you imagine if that had barriers there or other cars, it would be a real problem. So you need to practice your skills before you end up having an accident of some kind. The other thing to note is it's daytime at the moment, bright sunshine. This thing has weather simulation in it. It does have rain, it does have night, it has dawn and dusk cycles, and it creates some beautiful scenery as you're driving along. The one thing it doesn't have is snow, but this game is quite expandable. You can get modifications for it, and there are a few mods available that will give you lovely winter weather, and I'll bring some future videos where I'll show you some of the mods that I'm playing with. I've got a few mods in action at the moment. One of them is a realistic physics mod, and that's making my cabin bounce around and lurch a lot more than normal. Your cabin won't do that. But in future videos I'll show you some of the mods that I've been playing with and I recommend. But some of the weather mods are fantastic. You can also get some mods that will change the trailers on the back of the vehicles so that they're more realistic and the logos are real companies. That kind of thing, which obviously the makers couldn't put in for licensing reasons. But you can get mods to do it. Indicating is optional. There is no benefit in doing so. There is no penalty for not doing it. But I like to do it anyway, just because then I can feel like a real truck driver. However, lights, you will get penalised if you don't use your lights at night. Likewise, you'll get penalised for going through red lights. You'll get speeding tickets, and you'll get crash fees as well if you hit other vehicles. So bear this in mind. There are no police in the game. It's not GTA, and there isn't any crash damage visualization. So if you smash into the back of other vehicles, you might think you could cause massive carnage and huge burning wrecks, but none of that's actually in the game. All that actually happens is you cause damage to your truck, which could ultimately stop it from working and then just cause you a massive bill as you repair it. So in that respect, it's not quite as fun as perhaps some people would like, who like to jackknife trucks and watch the carnage ensue. There are no pedestrians. The only people, if you like, that you will see are the ones inside the vehicles. Now, we're not far off our destination now. We're only 15 minutes away, which in reality is only a couple of minutes, and you can actually see it on the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press F5 a few times and get that zoomed in view. I find this view a little bit easier as we get into these narrow roads. It helps me to see which road I'm turning down, rather than the more zoomed out view. We're on track for getting paid 1,900 euros. I'm getting off on this lane. So I'm doing 80 kilometers. You probably want to bring that back now. It's more like 60 as you go around this bend, maybe even less. There are no speeding fines, but you could, and I have done this, you can tip your truck over and cause quite a bit of damage. We need to stick in this right-hand lane because we're going to turn right here. Allow plenty of time to brake when you've got a trailer on the back full of goods. The truck does get very heavy. Now here we go, this is going to be an interesting turn. I've got to go wide, but I've got to not hit those other vehicles. I've been saved by the traffic lights. So at this point we could have a look at the different views. This is the simple outside view. There's also an overhead view, on the roof, down the left hand side, front bottom, over the wheel, rear view, and then back inside the cabin. There's also a pedestrian view which you can use, which is like somebody standing on the sidelines. That can be quite nice. Now look at this, I've got to go wide, look at my trailer, got to miss the car and not cut the bend. That was quite well executed. Remember, if a UK driver would drive on the right in Europe, and vice versa, when you go over to the UK you need to drive on the left. But generally speaking, you can just follow some of the other vehicles. Now this is the most interesting aspect of the game now. This is parking. As I say, you can skip this entirely if you find it too difficult. That guy just flashed me. I like to toot my horn to thank him. He's complete AI. I almost cut him up there, did you see that? It doesn't make any difference if you thank them or not, but if you've been following my stream, you'll know that as these guys flash me, like that guy, I like to give him a thank you. Although I don't think he actually let me out, did he? Now, here we go. This is the important thing. I've got to put my trailer in there. I've got to reverse it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive over here. As you can see, if you don't want to get the bonus delivery, just press enter and you won't have to do any parking whatsoever. But the personal player XP bonus you get for this is well worth it. So, how do we actually put a trailer in there? Well, firstly you're going to need to put it in reverse, but this is counterintuitive. As we go backwards, if I start to steer to the right, my truck goes to the left. It's all in reverse. One thing I find helps though is to look over this left angle. I'm going to steer right as I reverse, and that's going to cause my trailer, as you can see, to go left. Now I'm going to straighten up a little bit because I don't want to jackknife my own truck. I'm steering left, just keeping that left lock on. Now I need to straighten up a bit now, so we're on a bit more left lock. Just take your time, you can always stop. It's all about practice. It will take time to get used to this. I'm making it look quite simple, but at first it's a total head fuck. There we go. that will do. The light goes green. We press T to detach the trailer. And we get paid. Good work, it says. I lost some money and some experience points because of that little collision I had coming up a slip road where my steering sensitivity was wrong. But you can see the bonus for parking the trailer is 45 XP. Now, at this level, 45 XP really starts to add up and it's worth doing, but it's also good fun and good practice to get used to driving your trailer. I would thoroughly recommend it. Anyway, we got paid. It would normally say excellent here, but it said good work. Now, because we level up, we get to put a skill point to something. At first, I would recommend a long distance point. This is going to unlock deliveries up to 350 kilometers, and it's going to pay a bonus on experience and the money on anything over 250k. So now we can take longer jobs and get a bonus on top. Okay, we're in Liège, so we're going to look for jobs from Liège. And where should we go? We don't want to head back to the same town we came from. We want to discover more places. So I think what we'll do is we'll go to Dusseldorf with some tomatoes. So let's take that. So now we're in a completely different truck. We're in somebody else's truck. Now the one thing to bear in mind before you take a job, let's just stop my truck there, put the handbrake on. If you press F6 you can see I've got 11 hours of driving left. When you get your own truck you need to be careful because you'll need to go to a rest station. Don't take a job unless you can get there in enough time, or the job must have enough time to allow you a rest period in between. Be careful of that, otherwise you can end up getting screwed over on your contract. So anyway, that's on to the next job now in somebody else's truck. This is a nice Mercedes-Benz. If you save up, you'll be able to buy your own. I shall bring you future videos with some of my adventures and also tutorials on how to play the game better and some of the mods. I hope you like this overview of Euro Truck Simulator 2. You can play it for free, just go to the website, link is in the description. You can buy it on Steam, it's currently on offer. I hope you enjoy this game and I hope you enjoy this video. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and happy trucking!